is up? It's your girl Ego Dram, and we're back with another art tutorial, I guess. Arguably, what I'm about to show you doesn't require a whole lot of skill. However, I've never done this before, and I've wanted to give it a go. Today, we're going to be trying what's known as an acrylic pour. Basically, you just take a bunch of liquid acrylic paint. I've seen some people do this with acrylic resin as well, but today we're going to be using liquid paint. What's in the box? A bunch of liquid acrylic paint, about half of which I've had since the 90s. Now, usually I've seen people use solo plastic cups to do this, but I don't have any because I'm not an alcoholic. But I do have a ton of these glass pasta jars and food jars that I attempted to repurpose, but now I have an excuse to do that. So I'm going to be trying a couple of different methods of acrylic pours that I've seen here on YouTube, on TikTok, some on Instagram. So hopefully you'll have fun with me today. And without further ado, let's get to work. So here is the plan. Firstly, I got changed into a bunch of scrap clothes that I don't care about what happens to them because some of them are halfway ruined, including, as you can see, this apron, which is very well loved and used. And we're going to be doing these acrylic pours on this canvas board that you see here. They are not terribly expensive. Some people love them as an alternative to stretched canvas on stretcher boards. I've had these for years. I ordered them off Amazon many years ago, but I no longer support Amazon. Jeff Bezos does not need a 7th mega yacht. Instead, where I buy art supplies now is a company called dickblick.com. Yes, that is the actual name. I'm not being gross. They have amazing sales and deals if you keep an eye on them on art supplies. Pretty much any art supplies that you want or need, and even when things are not on sale, they have better prices than Amazon anyway, most of the time. Now, acrylic pour videos I have seen usually prop their surfaces up on a small platform above the floor or whatever, like a tarp they're putting it on. We are going to be using this, like what, 1.5-inch thick catalog that this company just keeps sending me in the mail and that I never asked for, don't want, and can't afford most of the stuff that's in here. So I don't care about what happens to my clothes. I don't care about what happens to the floor, which there's a reason it's not finished, by the way. I don't care what happens to this catalog either, because I'm never going to use it. Now, like I said, some people use plastic solo cups. I don't have any, but what I do have is a ton of these glass pasta jars. And acrylic paint does not bond to glass, usually, so I'm going to get some pretty good use out of these. And as you can see, I've also got a rig with my camera phone to record additional footage of what it is I'm about to do. So, firstly, I've got a ton of these cheap acrylic paint that I got from Walmart, Target, I don't remember, a long time ago. And it's these. Some of these I've had since the 90s, and they're just taking up space inside my art supply drawers and cabinets. So I guess the better to get rid of them so I can make room for even more stuff that I'm not going to touch for years. First, let's fill the jar with good old red, white, and blue. God, I don't remember the last time I used this color. Next, satin cream. This is so old it's separated. Now, videos I've seen of acrylic pours, they usually pour at an angle. Like so. Did I forget to take the plastic cap off? I did. Oh, it's been on there this whole time. Let's take care of that. Oh, it's been on there so long, it's gunked up. Yes, I know my nails look like crap. I'm gonna get them redone soon. Little bit of layers coming on. It's bleeding and blending a little bit. Let's do this. And away we go. Wow, that's a lot of red. I think I might have used a little too much. Let's move it around a little bit. Just let gravity do the bulk of the work. Let's add a little more blue into the jar. Oh, come on. Get this clot out of here. Yucky. Yucky. You. Yeah. Oh, that was a big help. Jesus Christ, this label coming out. Give it a little more balance, if you will. I hope I'm doing this right, because I've never done this before. Oh yeah, there we go. It's dripping on the floor. Woo! This might stick to the surface of the paper, the catalog, but ooh, yucky. Alright, and remember when I said wanted just enough to create nice little clean edges? Just a little bit. I don't know how long this is going to take to dry. Normally, acrylic paint, when you layer it properly, it doesn't take long, but this is a lot of paint. I should set this aside out of frame. Oh hell, I got a little bit more. Just a dab or two or 7. Just a couple of dabs. Okay, somebody over 40 has no business doing that, and I'm sorry you had to witness it. I'm going to set this out of camera frame now. Next, we're going to use a different color scheme for this second one, because I have an idea to test a little hypothesis that I've heard. Let's not get acrylic paint in my hair, yes? Excellent pasta sauce. Let's go with a different color scheme. Let's start with these. This bottle's actually old as fuck. Let's just get rid of it. Yellow. Standard yellow. And canary yellow. This is going to look proper hideous. And screw it. The last of this blue. Let's start with tapestry wine. Okay, it's only a little bit clotted up. That way. Oh shit, it's stuck. Are you serious? There we go. Next, this. I'm not going to bother with the cap so I don't have to squeeze it, because I have no idea how aged the plastic is, and old plastic will break. It doesn't take much. Wow, that's a huge clot. That could be a problem. That's what I get for not having used this shit in like 20 years. For variety's sake, let's just finish up this blue. Oh, come on. Just making all kinds of trouble today. Alright, it sounds like this isn't clotted up too badly. Alright. We should be good. Ooh! I was wrong AF. I don't know if this is going to affect the consistency of the pour as it dries. All right, lastly, a little more blue. I just want to get rid of it. Oh, come on. You know what? Screw it. Use it up and be done with it. All right, we ready? Let's hold it up higher to give it a little more oomph. It might splash. I think I used too much of the tapestry wine color. Oh yeah. Come on, I know you got more in ya. Or not. That is one massive clot. Ooh, excuse me. Yeah, I'm all the fuck out of blue. I think, maybe? No, not completely. Oh, that is really clotted up. I'm not too confident in how this one's going to turn out. But there's a reason I wanted to do a second one, and I want to test something that I've heard about acrylic paint, but also never done before. And that is that supposedly it's rubbing alcohol soluble. Yeah, it's pushing the pattern all the way to the edge. Damn it. I'm just going to pour this old paint directly on the canvas. There we go. Alright, I think that's as good as it's going to get. Or not. Let's see. Okay, that's better. We're pretty damn close. We're about to find out whether or not it's true that acrylic paint will create patterns with this. Actually. Is it? Is it true? Does it resist? Does it create patterns? Don't ever drink isopropyl alcohol. Wow. I'm not very happy with this one. I used way too much of that dark magenta paint, and I used up a fair bit of my liquid paint though, so. Oh well, I don't see what the alcohol did, so I guess it turns out it's not true, or maybe I used the wrong kind. When these are eventually dry, I'm just going to go ahead and check up on them. And what you see here, good people of the internet, is the reason why the studio floor was never finished with carpet or paneling or tile or whatever, because there's no point in going through that kind of effort if it's just going to get ruined with acrylic paint. So, there you go. I kind of figured that this would happen. I don't know if you can see it very well, but it's not drying. It's been 3 hours and it's still not dry. The canvas board is now bowed upwards toward the middle from the moisture in the paint and in the air. And some areas of the surface are drying faster than others. Like, you can probably still see the sheen, the shine back of the overhead light on the top of this. Let's see, this one is also not drying very consistently. I guess I shouldn't be surprised, but with it being February and everything, but yeah. Some areas are shinier than others. The not shiny areas are the parts that are drying relatively quickly, whereas others not so much. I have a feeling this is not going to be completely dry until late tonight. I'll just check on them tomorrow morning and leave it at that, so stay tuned. Ooh, that looks like a brain. Surely you didn't think that all I had to wear was aprons and paint clothes, did you? Hello. So, the acrylic pour paintings I did yesterday took several hours to dry, and so I decided to wait until the next day, and they're still not completely dry, but I am confident that they're dry enough that we should be able to get some good footage of them to see how they turned out, to show you good people of the internet what's up. And you can decide whether or not I fucked up. So, in general, I'm actually pretty happy with how this one came out. You can still see, as it's shiny, some areas where it's still a bit damp, but that's okay. It's dry enough that I don't have to worry about getting it on my clothes or it spilling on the floor. This is so damp that, I don't know if you can see, it actually bent, warped the canvas board itself. However, it did something I didn't expect. As you can see, it cracked along the surface there on this one as it was drying. Mostly where the white and the blue paint is. Check that out. See those little cracks there? Yeah, and then there's some more there. I didn't expect that, but acrylic pours aren't really my thing. It's not really my style, but I'm pretty happy with how this came out. This hunk of junk, on the other hand, is still a little, oh wow, it's very damp still. It's wet enough that the surface of the canvas board is pretty badly bowed, and as I thought, the old paint clotted up pretty bad. It's still a bit tacky to the touch. Yeah, that's a really bad clot. That's just a mess, and I'm a little bit disappointed that it turns out that alcohol does not create cool patterns on the surface of wet acrylic paint. I don't know what it is that people who do acrylic pours typically use to get cool little pools of color when they do these, but obviously it wasn't that. So, I don't know what I'm gonna do with this, but I'm pretty sure I'm gonna keep that one. And that's it. That's the video. Me dumping out a whole bunch of paint on empty canvases for the sake of it. I hope you would be willing to join me for a future art-related video. I'm not sure what exactly I would do next, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it, won't we? Alright everyone, thank you for joining me. Be sure to follow me on my other social media so you can see my pretty face as well as more of my work, and I bid you all have a good day. Be good to each other.